is goody with the hoodie, everybody? How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? We're waiting for the rest of the guys, and we're about to get this thing popping really, really fast. All right, there we go. All right, all right, all right. Without any further ado, may I please introduce from right to left, Mr. Moonboy.
Hey, yo, what's up, Adam? Had to rock this shirt for this one here, Huddle. We're
That's
end of
what
year
I'm
right now.
talking
Hey,
about.
had to do it, bro. End of year. We're supposed to have this big product feelings reveal, so I'm holding to onto dear life, man. Whatever's in that, it can be good or bad. I'm still gonna hold my Safemoon at least for another 3 to 5 years. But yeah, bro, happy to be here.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you, my man. And we got the one and only Mr. Generation Crypto. He's the one that put this all together. Please, let's get a shout out to Mr. Generation Crypto. What's goody, baby?
How's it going, guys?
All right, man. The guy with the best hair on the show. And and we got this absolute nut right here in the best way we can possibly say it. You guys might know who he is. His name is Safemoon Timmy. And Timmy, what's up, baby?
What's going on, guys?
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody's rocking SafeMoon gear. I see you guys try to play me again. Nobody coordinates with Adam, bro.
What are you
Nobody
doing, Adam? What are
coordinates.
you doing, bro? Come on.
All right, all
You don't
right. I
have a
love
shirt?
it. All right. Nah, I got the gear right here. We're gonna get into
Oh, hey,
it.
hey. Hey, that's a
Uh,
Safemoon logo. I does.
no copyright infringement. This is not a SafeMoon logo. And we got one of my favorite people, and I show this guy so much respect. This guy is so knowledgeable, above and beyond anything SafeMoon, just in general. And we actually follow the same paths. You got Mr. RJ Ardonis. How are you, buddy?
What's up, guys? What's up? I am not wearing Safemoon. I feel like I need to
Oh
go
no!
and change really quick here.
Grab the
No one
blanket in the
sent me and Adam
background.
the memo. No one sent me and Adam the memo.
RJ, just get a marker and just write the Safemoon logo or something there real quick. You figure that out, bro.
For real, for real.
Guys, and I want to introduce this man, and I think me and him are actually going video for video throughout the day. Sometimes I feel like we're in a race. Who puts out more videos through the day? I see him laughing. He's thinking the same thing. The one and the only Mr. Crypto Atlas, aka Mr. SafeMoon Luigi.
Hello, everybody. What's going on?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Good to be here.
I always got
All
the
right.
Luigi hat on this time.
Last
All right.
round table of 2021.
The
Let's
last
go.
one of 2021. All right, guys. I don't really have much planned. I just wanted to ask you what you guys are looking forward to in 2022. Maybe wrap up 2021, and then we're just gonna take questions from the audience. I love speaking to the audience, and I'm ready for this. So I guess we'll start from right to left again. SafeMoon 10, man. Like, what did you like about 2020, and what are you looking forward to? I'm sorry, 21, and what are you looking forward to in 2022?
2022, man. I'm super excited about getting listed on some more exchanges. I don't know if we're talking solely SafeMoon here, but that's one of the things that I'm super excited for. I'm also excited for the blockchain.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you're probably excited for the blockchain too. And I want to start seeing what they're going to start putting out this week. I think that's super important. When they release this video, to see what they're actually developing when it comes to technology wise, I would like to see that. So I'm looking forward to a lot of the stuff that they're talking about right now. I think it's going to get super exciting. Even John himself said it's going to get super exciting. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm hoping this exchange is good. And I'm hoping this blockchain is solid. And 2022, guys.
That's what's up, Mr. RJ. What do you got to say to wrap up the year?
Hey,
RJ,
RJ,
you're
you're
on
muted.
mute.
Snaps, my bad, my bad.
Right.
So Operation Phoenix, right? I just released a video today because the words they're choosing are teetering dangerous, right? They're saying it's gonna melt our brains. So I'm really just intrigued to know what this is and why I'm not ready for this and why this is gonna absolutely melt and liquefy my brain. So I'm ready. They're saying I'm not ready, so I'm ready for this reveal. 2022, you know me, Adam. We've been talking about this for a while now. I'm a techie guy, right? So same thing. I'm interested in the blockchain. I'm ready to really separate ourselves and segregate ourselves from Binance. get us on our own blockchain. But in terms of price action, right, volume, a lot of people are really looking forward to being listed on exchanges and our own exchanges, because we will see some direct price action there, positive or negative, but definitely an increase in volume. If you guys have looked at previous historic data on SHIB and Doge, which I did today, I mean, they went from like 400 million guys to like 6, 13, and 50 billion in volume the moment they got listed on Coinbase, crypto.com. So it has really, really almost immediate price action. So those are the two things I'm interested in about. But yeah.
Got it, man. And what about you, Mr. Atlas?
I would say, as far as for this year, the biggest thing that I love that came out is the Safemoon swap. Having a decentralized exchange opportunity that's there. The transaction fee is parallel to that of what we see with Pancake Swap, but it benefits the Safemoon community. And I'm hoping that they're going to progressively keep adding more and more now that we have Safemoon version 2, Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all those fun ones out there. So I would say moving into 2022, I'm most excited for the exchange, the Safemoon exchange itself, because of the opportunities they could have all the microtransactions inside there, potentially being able to stake things and whatever reward mechanics that they incentivize with that. But I keep thinking more and more about Operation Phoenix. And I really feel that if they can start to implement these wind turbines over in the Gambia next year, then that will put us a step ahead of all these other different cryptocurrency projects that have been attempting to do these things, like over in Africa, Cardano, for example. Actually get some wind turbines over there. They're turning, they're burning, the reflections are going on. That will lead to better adoption moving forward with other countries. And it'll make everyone else look at Safemoon in a much more serious note. They'll take us more seriously.
Absolutely. Generation Crypto, what's good for 21 and 22?
Yeah, so for me, the biggest thing I'm looking forward to in 2022 is implementation, right? So I feel like 2021 was the sketchboard year. It was the year that we got all the ideas laid out. We got another idea that's going to be laid out for us with Project Phoenix and everything that's going on there. And I think 2022 is going to be the big year of taking that first step of implementation. So the implementation of the blockchain, the implementation of the exchange, the implementation or the beginning of the implementation of Project Phoenix, and everything that's to come afterwards. So I feel like we've done a lot of brainstorming, we've done a lot of preparing, and 2022 is going to be the year of Safemoon implementing all these beautiful things that they keep talking about doing, and so that we can see those things in action. So us, as the people who've been backing Safemoon since day one, can finally have that long-awaited products that we've been waiting for, that we've been shouting about, and that we've been fighting FUD about. And then for all the FUDders out there, it'll be proof in the pudding that Safemoon is actually going to do what they're claiming that they're going to do. So I'm looking forward to all the implementation of the exchange, of the blockchain, so that it's clear to everyone that everyone's on the same page of what Safemoon is and the direction that they're going.
Cool, man. Moonboy, what's up, baby?
Yeah, I just want to take an opportunity to recognize what this year has done for all of us, because Safemoon was launched back in March, and we all know each other because of Safemoon. The army is created because of Safemoon. We're introduced to an incredible CEO, which is John Caroni, who has, in my opinion, his head on the right shoulders, however that phrase goes. I'm very excited for this year, due to the fact that we were all introduced to crypto, which we all invested not knowing what was going to come. I mean, I didn't invest knowing that this thing was going to develop a blockchain, an exchange, and had a wallet. We all just hopped in kind of like a little degen play. And the fact that it's growing into something that's so incredible, right? We're talking about wind turbines and nanotechnology. We're talking about sustainable energy, a whole cryptonomic exchange. These ideas have come out after our initial investments. So the fact that we're at this point now having these conversations and talking about what Safemoon is going to become, implementing whatever technology you have in Gambia, and whatever's going to come out of the Project Phoenix video. This year has been overall very incredible. We've all been looking at opportunities in the crypto space, and I know many of us started with Dogecoin. I started with Cardano, and for us to end up here, Safemoon being probably our most bullish back holding right now, it's just a great opportunity when it comes to where we started versus where we're at right now. And 2022, I would say I'm with RJ when it comes to just more accessibility and being listed on other exchanges. If that Coinbase listing does come to fruition, I know there's a lot of hints and rumors and details of that actually manifesting, but it's all kind of hearsay right now. If that actually does come to fruition, if you see the numbers that happened with Shiba and Dogecoin. Volume wise, I mean, talking about $50 billion in 24-hour volume, that's ridiculous. And that on a Safemoon token with this tokenomics is going to absolutely burn the token, increase reflection. So for me, it's about accessibility. I'm very interested to see what happens when it comes to listing of exchanges. And I want the stigma on Safemoon to switch from a meme coin, because although we know what Safemoon is, we know it's not a meme coin, we know it has utility, we know what's coming, right? The overall crypto space still looks at it as a joke, the name, what is this coin, reflection, is it a Ponzi? So I'm very interested to see how that narrative flips when all the products and services are released on the market.
That's dope. I was actually at a Twitter space earlier today. Shout out to Safemoon Zeus for holding his Twitter spaces. And shout out to all the Twitter space people, guys. I just want to say, yo, let's all get along. I know it's kind of ironic that I'm saying that, but we all do get along as content creators. You guys should get along too. Don't do no divisions. Like put your differences aside. But with that said, I just wanted to recap that we still here. So many projects got rug pulled. So many projects. And even more projects that you never heard of, right? So many projects that you heard of got rug pulled, like Famous, the next big thing. So many projects that you have no idea got rug pulled because they never actually made it off the launching pad. And you can truly see in John's eyes and Ryan how much they care for the product, how much they care for the project. Not everything is always delivered on time, but I don't think that's I think they're just so enthusiastic that they gotta like say, listen, it's like if 6 of us were to be like, guys, let's come out with a product. Yeah, let's do it right now. Da, da, da. And in our minds, we're already thinking like, yo, this is what we gotta do. It's already in our minds, like the entire show is already here, right? And that's what's happening. So they have like 100 different ideas with 100 different plans, and it all comes from a place of love, like that they really do want to see this through. Sometimes I give them a lot of slack for it, but in reality, you could see how much love they have for the product. And John's still here, bro. He could have ran away with millions of dollars a long time ago. He's not rug pulling this. We have an office in UK. We have an office in Utah. The guy does do AMAs. Doesn't call on me, but that's okay. And we're in the public limelight. So guys, be thankful for that. Be happy for that. We still here, and just give it some time for sure. Definitely, guys, give us a like if you're in here, please. 143 thumbs up, 316 people watching. Guys, ask your questions. We're going to be taking a lot of questions. We're going to do it kind of like Safemoon Tim did it the other week. We're just going to be talking about whatever you guys want. Aren't we supposed to still get some information on Project Phoenix?
Yeah, we are. In fact, one of the things that was just tweeted out by John, which was literally like a few minutes before we started this live stream. I can read it here live. For those that don't have a Twitter.
Is this on Twitter?
This is on Twitter. Yeah, John tweeted this out exactly 17 minutes ago. He said, #Safemoon Army, OP Phoenix video is with the editing team. Looking forward to presenting one of the first of many innovations enhancing the Safemoon ecosystem. Happy holidays for myself, the team, and Dark Moon.
This is...
this would have been
right
his
here.
last tweet. Yep, 17 minutes
This one
ago.
right here?
Exactly.
Operation Phoenix video is with the editing team. Looking forward to presenting it. All right, fantastic, man. Look at that. Does anybody recognize this guy? Bro, who's this guy? Who's Tim, man?
Who's Tim?
Who's Tim? Definitely who's Tim, man. Let's hit him up. Who's Tim? Who's Tim?
Or whose time?
Man, my spelling is atrocious, and every time
Mine
it
is
comes,
too, man.
bro, and everybody be... RJ was right, bro. It's very hard to maneuver so many people at once. I almost blew up my computer reading that share screen just now. Yo, how was everybody's holidays, man? How was everybody's Merry Christmas? I'm assuming everybody on the panel. How did it go? Did you guys like spend time with loved ones?
Yeah, for me, I turned 29 on the 22nd of December. So my goal is to retire before 30, and I think I have a year left to accomplish that dream, right? I have a daughter. If you guys don't know, she turned 2 on Sunday.
Congratulations, bro.
So her and I
Congratulations.
are 4 days apart. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a great holiday overall. But hitting that number of 29, when I was 22, I told myself 30 is a year. It's something about that age, 30, 31. I want to be sorted whatever I want to do in my life when it comes to passive income. When it comes to finding financial freedom. And I feel like I've at least laid the foundation for those things to be possible in 2022. And we talk about Safemoon with the reflections, and just price action as well. This thing goes to 15 cents. I mean, a lot of us inside here are probably millionaires, right? Based off our backsides that we're holding upwards of 5 to 10 million plus. But yeah, so that number for me made things pretty real, because that time is coming to where, I set numbers for myself to achieve when I was 22 years old. Now those numbers are coming up. And, at the very least, I feel comfortable in my position right now. I have RJ down here. Him, I talking a little bit about some passive income stuff. Not going to talk about it on stream here. But, I'm trying to lay the foundation to really set myself up for when I do hit the 30 number. And then I have the option to retire or not. Now, if a bear market comes, that's a whole different conversation. But in an environment where we have this incredible super cycle and crypto continues and the crash isn't immense, like a 90% crash that Bitcoin historically has, then a lot of these tokens will survive and last into the next bear bull market, which will probably be this massive adoption cycle, and that's going to be incredible. But yeah, overall, great weekend, great holidays, and I'm looking forward to the new year.
Cheers. And Generation Crypto, what did you do?
So I'm actually still out of town. I'm currently in North Carolina visiting the in-laws and the family out here. I'll
Bro,
be back
you're related to
31st.
RJ?
Yeah, you
You're
didn't know? I'm at his house right now. We're just in different rooms.
Can you imagine?
So great holiday visiting them. Like I said, I'll be back the 31st. I have mentioned this on my channel and as well on Twitter, but for everyone wondering where my content is, I mentioned that in my Christmas video that I released on Christmas Day. I'm out of town, guys, and I wanted to make sure I spent that time with family instead of being on the Twitter Spaces, which I love, and instead of editing videos. I really wanted to make sure I took that time with them, because starting next year, I'm going to be hitting the pavement hard with content for you guys, trying to get things up and running, and I've got a lot of content planned. So there's that. And then today I celebrated my birthday. We went up to DC a couple days ago, spent a couple days up there, and then I just got back today. So,
Bro, cherish your birthdays, man. Once you get a little bit older, when I started investing in Safemoon, I started losing all my hair. As you get older, this is what happens. How old are you?
26 today.
Man, God bless you. God bless you.
You guys are a bunch of young bloods, man.
I
Yeah,
know,
man, I
right?
feel super old.
Bunch of young bloods over here.
Hold on. Atlas, how old are you, and what did you do for the holidays?
I'm 31. Am I the oldest one here?
No, it's either me or RJ.
This guy.
Oh, okay.
Am I the oldest one here?
Bro, like I'm sometimes they compare me to dirt. That's how old I am.
Oh, jeez.
What did you do for the holidays?
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I had a really difficult Christmas this
Sorry
year.
to hear that.
Yeah. I got to spend it with my family, but it's really difficult. Yeah, I just don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
Sorry
I'll let
about
RJ
that,
go
man.
up next. It's okay. But thank you for asking, and God bless everybody here as well. And I wish you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you as well. Happy birthday to the 2-year-old. I'm so glad to be able to spend this time with you guys. And I
Cheers, man,
appreciate
cheers.
you allowing me to be on here again.
Cheers. RJ, what's goody, man? What did you do?
Yeah, man. My plans took a curveball as well. I was supposed to visit Chicago, right? That's where my immediate family is, and a family member ended up getting COVID, so was on quarantine. So I stayed locally here, so just kind of cooked myself a steak, hosted a live YouTube just for people that kind of needed company as well, and kind of just kept it low key, man. So that was the night before, and then my girlfriend was able to come the next day, so I was able to spend some time with her for the actual Christmas day.
Good for you. And how old are you? 52?
This fucking
Nah,
guy.
RJ, I'm definitely older than you, right?
I'm 35.
I'm older.
35.
Tim, what's goody, baby? What did you do?
I just spent
love
some
you,
time
RJ.
with my wife and daughter. And that's pretty much it. We went to my parents' house where my daughter opened way too many gifts and brought them home, and just came back here. We kept it kind of low key as well. Didn't do a lot because we just do a little, but as long as we get to spend time together, that's all that matters,
Man,
So-
that's all that matters, bro. God bless. God bless. Yeah, I was able to go to a restaurant on Saturday and I went to a restaurant on Sunday. I didn't celebrate Christmas, I'm Jewish, but we had a couple of parties. So we literally had my mom's birthday on Saturday and I went to the same exact restaurant the next day for somebody else's birthday. But that's all good. I was having fun. Um, 1010 Buns, thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. And he's right. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. And if you guys have some questions, let me know. If you guys want to troll us, you could definitely let us. You could definitely troll us as well. Um,
Adam's
Yeah, just,
salivating in the mouth for a troll to enter the chat right now.
I'd like to make a side note. If you guys send in your questions, you're much more likely to have it be seen if you do send it in as a super chat. And of course, it's also going to help out Adam's channel. And we're all here being supportive of one another. And we appreciate you guys just being here regardless.
yeah, cheers. But definitely start asking the questions. I'm gonna start reading them out right now. Um, let that go. What did Icy Mike say? Uh,
Beef stroganoff.
man, I gotta ask some
those
questions.
are our day oneers, man. People that know
The
that
beef-
inside joke.
You still need
Tim,
them shirts.
Alex B was curious. How old are you?
69.
69.
Yeah, I look pretty
That's a
good,
great
huh?
number. That's
Yeah.
a great age.
There's
A lot of white hairs in his beard.
69 is good. 68 is a
Yeah.
good number too.
What
Nah,
about you, Adam? You didn't say your age?
I'm 38.
38. Oh, wow.
38, man. I'm an old man, bro. I feel like I'm literally a grandfather when it comes to crypto, man. Especially DeFi. He says Adam is really 32, but he stressed himself out, so he looks 92. Oh my God. Damn, Adam Bergman, you old. Yeah, I'm old. Diamond Fist and Boston. Damn, you guys showed so much love for Tim. He got so many questions. I got like literally no questions. I'm like, oh man, I wasn't planning anything for the show. I thought we were gonna get tons and tons of questions, man.
yeah, guys, ask some questions. Let's hear it. Let's start throwing some questions out there. Anything you need to answer, we'll answer for you guys.
I'll give you a little side piece while we're waiting on them to give us some questions. So I was talking with my friend earlier. I mean, we think back on the old roadmap for Safemoon, and there's just so many people that have complained about things not hitting the deadlines, a lot of frustration behind it. And of course, we have the team restructuring. Some people look at that as just as excuses on the unprofessionalism of this and that. At the end of the day, they did launch a Safemoon wallet for both Android and for iOS, right? And you can also technically do the transaction transfers over through the website. So the way that I look at it, look at Robinhood, just as a perfect example. They've been claiming that they're going to be launching this cryptocurrency wallet for how long now? And they have how much more money? They've been established more, and they still haven't done it. Look at other leading competitors, like I think there was a Ameritrade or something, or my friend was talking about one of these other major like stock type companies that have been claiming that they're going to do a crypto wallet and they haven't done it yet. Webull, you can do trading over there. They don't have one. Look at just regular exchanges that deal with crypto, and they never took the route of developing their own wallet. So I think Safemoon, in its own regard, is ahead of the curve of a lot of the competition. And you can use that example where Ryan has talked about this. And he said, all these other companies, they look at us and they ask us, how is it that you guys are pumping this stuff out so fast? That's just not him saying that to try and make SafeMoon look good. He's speaking the truth. You look at companies like Robinhood, and they still have yet to do it. So it speaks for itself that the turnover time for SafeMoon is faster than a lot of the leading competitors. It may not be as fast as what they had planned and what they had stated before, but I think we should still give them credit. They're getting things done progressively moving forward, and I'm really looking forward to 2022.
Did you guys notice the amount of Oscar? Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate that book. Thank you so much, Oscar Vargas. Did you guys notice how the reflections are going less and less as more people are transferring over to V2?
I have, for sure. Yeah, I think it's
Volume has dropped.
yeah, I think it's because we are not doing exchanges right now, obviously, because the exchanges are all locked up because the V2 is getting swapped over to V2. Plus, Pancake was really popular for a while, so I think that's another thing. Is SafeMoon Swap still trying to get its foot in the door, and so when they start, I don't know if they're going to release their own app like PancakeSwap did, even though I'm not even sure if it's an app. They just connect to it through the apps in the Trust Wallet. I think you could do the same thing with Safemoon Swap. So I think people just have to get used to that and start using that platform, and I think our volume will go back up. But I think it's because we pulled out of PancakeSwap, our volume kind of went down a lot.
Yeah, people will make it up. DJ Mayor, thank you so much for saving me. I was sweating bullets and nobody's going to ask a question, so I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for the donation. He says, it's December 28th, 2022, so a year from now. Blockchain is in its place. Exchange is up and running. We are listed on major exchanges. Phoenix is up and running. What's your price prediction? Oh man, I'll go last. Or should I go first? Who wants to go first? I got one.
All right, Adam, you go.
I think our price prediction, well, I could give you guys a market cap. I believe that the market cap is going to be somewhere between 10 and 40 billion, if that makes sense. I know it's a huge number, but I think it would be closer to around 15 billion if everything comes out based on pure hype alone, like not bad hype, like, wow, we did it. I think it would actually go to around 20, 25 billion, and then it would go back down and stay stable at around 15, which would give it a 15 times the current price, what is that, 2 cents, 2.5 cents? Does that make sense? Is that about right, the numbers that I did?
I'm not good with math without a calculator.
I think around
Let me see it. So you said 15 billion?
15 billion, which would be around 15 times current market cap, right? We're 6 times away from a penny, right? So right around 2.5 cents, if I'm not mistaken, RJ.
102 times current market cap.
I hope you're using the Safemoon calculator.
I am.
you
It's
gotta
easy
use
to
that one.
It's easy to put in billions in here. 15 billion divided by.
I think 2 cents by the end of January.
This shit isn't working.
I'm very bullish. You know, it's actually very difficult to have a proper price prediction for this token because you have to consider what is the circulation supply is going to be as well. This token is hyperdeflationary, is going to be burning. So if we're in an environment where the volume is consistent, it's not going to be consistent, but if for whatever reason blockchain delayed by a year and our volume doesn't reach the billions that we think is going to reach, and then our supply doesn't burn. But if all that does happen, our supply burns down to the eventual 50 billion circulation. It can range between 2 cents to 20 cents. It really can. It's very difficult to pinpoint because so many things need to happen. So many things is going to happen that's going to contribute to the burn. It's going to contribute to economics, and it's going to contribute to hype. When people are making money off of reflections where they can damn near pay their bills, that's going to cause more hype, more FOMO. It's very difficult to actually predict because this token is not traditional Ethereum, it's not traditional Cardano, where the supply is fixed. That burn is going to naturally raise the price without it ever pumping at all. So it could be anything, 2 cents, 20 cents. It could be $1. If that burn is incredible, right? If that burn is ridiculous. If we do hit 15 billion circulating supply and 15 billion market cap, that's the $1 right there. So it's rough to price predict a token like Safemoon. If this is a Cardano or an Ethereum, it'll be way easier, but that burning mechanic does make things quite difficult.
All right. Anybody else?
I think for me, another point of difficulty is we still don't know the full scope of what Project Phoenix is. I know that Tim has done some awesome videos going over basically as good as anyone could do of guessing and pinpointing down based on evidence what it could potentially be, but we don't have solid evidence of 100% guarantee from John, from the team, exactly what it is yet. And so not knowing what that looks like in implementation as well as on paper, and then on top of that, like you, Moonboy was mentioning, with the way that things go with volume is going to greatly impact the supply that we have, and therefore it becomes extremely difficult to predict price. I think if things go as well as we've been told by everyone on the team, as well as the educators, right? We've got Gandalf telling us, we're going to do backflips and ship bricks, right? So if all of that happens as they've been telling us that it's going to, and all of these implementations go through at least by the end of this year, like we're talking about, I don't think that a price, in the 40 cent to $1 range is well within range, I think, if things go as they've said. Now, to put that point forward, though, if they don't go as planned or they're not as grandiose as we've been led to believe, I think a more realistic price of what Adam is saying is probably more in lines with the truth. It will fluctuate dramatically based upon what actually happens over the year. And with a token like this that fluctuates so much based upon its volume, which will heavily impact the price, and of course what Project Phoenix is able to do, not only for the Gambia, but potentially moving forward with other countries, it's going to massively impact the price in ways that I can't give you an accurate prediction that I would feel good with doing. So I know that I'm basically saying it could be anywhere from $1 to a penny, but what I am saying is Project Phoenix here is a big indicator of what that's going to look like depending on implementation and what that looks like moving forward.
Just to give a quick numbers, so if we hit 40 cents, that would make us 235 billion. Now remember, the burn is slowing down, right? Because now it's only 2% burn. So take that into account. So let's not take into account burn. We could play it at. So
if we don't take into account burn, then I'm saying more like 6 cents. On an optimistic note. On a non-optimistic note, I'm saying probably around what you're saying, about 2 to 3 cents.
okay.
It not factoring burn in any fashion.
Got it.
So I would say about 10 to 30 cents. You know, at the end of the day, there's so many factors that go up in the air here. We're just throwing out numbers of what we feel it's possible, right? One thing that I think is really important for people to realize is how many people out there, probably us included, that have a certain goal to where if we hit reflections on a consistent basis, we could just live off reflections. Well, what does that mean? That means that you would be selling your reflections. And if you're selling your reflections, that creates more volume. More reflections get divvied up amongst the rest of the wallet holders, which then helps other people get closer towards their goals. So we're in an early position now where the price is so low that as the price climbs up, it's going to be more realistic that a lot of people could hit those goals, whatever it is, of being able to live off reflections. The more people that hit their goal, the more volume is going to go up, just because of the fact that they're now willing to give up this asset where before they weren't doing anything. They're just buying, holding. They're buying more. They're letting the reflections build up, right? You have to have a catalyst at some point that is that incentive to make you want to relinquish either all of your Safemoon or some of your Safemoon. And some of your Safemoon is, for a lot of people, the reflections mechanic itself.
Got it. All right. Shout out to Safemoon Oz with the big donation.
Oh man, he's my boy. What's up, Oz?
Yeah, Aussie. Yeah. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Talk says, can you guys talk about Web 3.0 and how Safemoon will be involved in implementing it? John said earlier that they are working on the missing piece. All right, sure, we can talk about that. Tim, you want to start that one? Anybody else?
I mean, I got a lot of information from you, Adam. I think you did a great job on explaining what Web 3.0 was. So if you want to take it, I could probably then pick up after you. But I think you probably are the man for this particular question. Also, I know Generation Crypto is pretty experienced on this too. In fact, you guys all are. So I'd like to hear from you guys.
So let's just understand what generation crypto, generation web, I was about to say, what Web 1.0, 2.0, and what Web 3.0 actually is. Web 1.0 is static information. You're basically reading something, you're waiting for that, porno picture to download, but you don't have, nothing that you can go back and forth with. And then Web 2.0 is actually interacting back and forth like a Facebook, like a Google, like a YouTube, with like a StreamYard that we're doing right now. The only problem is when you're interacting back and forth, you're interacting on central servers. So we're relying on Google right now. We rely on Facebook. We rely on Twitter. And if they want to ban anybody, they can just ban anybody, right? And the information that you have there is theirs. If YouTube cancels our accounts, all channel member information, that's theirs. Like, we don't have anybody's emails, none of that. Web 3.0 believes that the information that you have should be your information and nobody else's. Am I stalling when I talk?
I don't hear you, Stalin. I think you're doing good.
Like a lag, you mean, between what you say? Just slightly, but you're okay.
All right. So, and then thank you. Web 3.0 is the belief that your information is your own information. And I give you guys like a couple of actual examples of how this can actually be done. So they want you to store your information on a blockchain. Did you guys ever like sign into a website and they say log in with your email address, and they already know through Google or they know through Facebook all your information. So that's when you're relying on Web 2. With Web 3, and this is just an example, they don't have it too good yet. They have very basic, examples of this actually being used in real world. But you would log in with your MetaMask wallet, or you would log in with your Safemoon wallet, and that's how they would establish who you are. So you would be more of a code or a number as opposed to an actual person. And then through encryption, I guess they can, give you a different name or something like that. And that's how you would store your information. Let's say you go to the doctor, your information like your old medical records and stuff would be stored with you on the blockchain. And then we can go into more details, but that's basically what Web 1, Web 2, Web 3 is. Now the missing piece of what Safemoon's going to do, that one I can't answer.
Can I touch on Web 3.0 just a little bit for?
Yes, sir.
So basically, to really simplify this, Web 1.0 was just the basic implementation of the web. Web 2.0 was implementation of centralized agencies, not controlling, but gathering information on individuals and simplifying the process for you as you access the internet. So the stuff you access in Facebook now applies to you when you're in Google, and vice versa, and several other websites and locations. Web 3.0 is the completely decentralized version of the internet, where you don't have one agency or one company organization controlling that information. It's controlled and stored on the blockchain, which is technically controlled by everybody. And so when people ask about this, you kind of sometimes get two conflicting viewpoints. You get the viewpoint of, oh, so this brings anonymity because I'm just a number. It's not my actual name. And then you've got the other group of people saying, well, doesn't this make things way too public? Now, all of my information's out there to be viewed on the blockchain. And the answer is both. I'm going to give an example of this, and that's Twitter. So when you get onto Twitter, you can go ahead right now and create a fake profile that you can name whatever, have whatever name and picture you want, and no one knows who you really are. And you can tweet, and you can technically become famous or well-known behind that picture, which gives you the opportunity to speak to millions of people and be in the public view more so than you ever could in real life, but also being completely private and no one actually knows who you really are, right? So the blockchain and decentralized information offers that same kind of concept where if you want to be public and known, you can tell everyone that, this is my contract address, this is my information. And then, all of your information will be known and it will be very public on that specific wallet address or that you're using. But if you don't want people to know, then you can keep it completely private. And although it's technically visible for all to see, they won't know that that's specifically you. And that's what's awesome about the decentralized version of the internet, is because it puts the power back in your hands. How much of your information goes out is completely up to you. How much you want to be involved in things is up to you. Where you want your information going, that's all up to you. Now, there is pros and cons to this. I mean, not everything is just bright rainbows and sunshine when it comes to Web 3.0, because security now becomes your responsibility, right? Before, we had centralized organizations that would have firewalls and ways of protecting your information other than you sharing it yourself. Now that responsibility is going to be on your shoulders, right? And for some, that could be viewed as a negative or a positive. In my opinion, that's a very positive thing because it gives you control. And so if you mess up, you have no one else to blame but yourself because it's your stuff, right? In the same way that, if you have a bag of money and you hand that off to someone, that's your fault, rather than having a bank holding it for you. So I think that there's a lot of positives that come from Web 3.0, and I think it gives regular people, like Safemoon Joe's channel, Safemoon Joe, the average Joe, it gives us average Joes control over our own money, our own lives, and our own information that was not available in Web 2.0 and especially Web 1.0.
Just want to go a little further on that. What Generation Crypto is saying, 100% great points. So somebody would say right now, well, can you give us an actual example? What do you mean store your information and stuff? So there's a different blockchain that's doing this, and I won't get into it too much, but anybody can copy this same or do it the variation where you store your information on the blockchain, and they have literally two type of miners. They have a storage miner and then they have a retrieval miner, and you pay people to store your information, but they don't actually have access to the information, and people are literally storing it encoded on their own hard drives. And the bigger your computer is in your hard drive, the more you can contribute to that decentralized space. And then you pay retrieval miners to get your stuff. And now people are going to say, well, Adam, if you have to pay Generation Crypto to get your stuff that's stored on Safemoon Tim's computer, how is John Caroni not going to know what's going on? So the answer is, what the hell was I going to say?
Where's your apple juice?
Oh man, my apple juice.
That's the effect of doing 5 videos a day right there.
They
You
use
can't do that many videos. You'll lose your mind, my friend.
guys. They do it. They do it through DApps, digital applications. So a lot of people think that DApps is only like decentralized exchanges, and DApps is any smart contract. A smart contract is a form of a DApp, a digital application, and that's how they do it. So you pay through your digital application. So let's say you wanted to retrieve something, you would take your SafeMoon wallet, you send some SafeMoon. In return, you get your information in the form of an NFT. Sorry, guys, for the spaz in between. Too many videos.
Yeah, so I'd like to touch on the NFT aspect. So NFTs are a big component that's also tied in with Web3. And moving forward, there's more that you can do with NFTs than a lot of people actually realize. When you hear NFTs, a lot of people commonly just associate them with a still image on your computer. People say, well, this is stupid. I could just print screen and capture it. I can right click, copy, save, right? Why are people spending all this money on these crypto punks and the monkeys, all those different ones that are out there? And the reality is that besides the fact that that's essentially a form of digital ownership that you can trace back to through the blockchain, and you have the actual ownership rights, right? So if somebody else is trying to just share those images all around, do they legally own that piece? Well, no. So potentially in the future, we could start to see legal battles come in and people having a claim of ownership through these. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays through. But besides that stuff, you could also do things like with music. Like, for example, you have a redeemable based event where if you buy the new album, you get an NFT, and then that NFT you can take to a concert in the future, display it to them, they scan the QR code, that then gets transferred over to them, the people that are working at the event, and that's a redeemable piece that you can then get for like a t-shirt for free. You didn't have to pay anything during that event. Another instance is what I think John had actually mentioned this example. Let's say you go to the fruit store or the grocery store, right? And there's a tomato right there. And you pick up the tomato and the tomato has a QR code. How cool is it if you could scan that QR code and via the blockchain, you could see every place that was transferred to all the way back to the original farm. So you know exactly where the fruit that you're eating from is from and who was it that handled it. If there's any kind of issues where, like, for example, we find out there's salmonella in chicken and you're trying to identify which provider it is that's getting people sick. You can potentially track this stuff a little bit more accurately using the blockchain technology. So NFTs are going to be playing a very integral role moving forward with Web3. And it can be applied in lots of other ways that also affects like the mesh network and the macro IoT and the whole identity with the smart grid and being applied with the wind turbines, right? There's a lot that really comes into play with that.
Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to give a quick shout out. I know RJ has a store. He has a YouTube store. Guys, definitely check it out when he makes his videos. And the reason I'm saying this is because I know Tim opened up a YouTube store and somebody in the comments asked for a t-shirt. So I know they both have stores. I don't know if any of the other gentlemen do, but definitely just check out any one of their videos. There's always going to be a link down below. Everybody likes money.
I do too.
All right. Yeah, you do too. There you go. He does too. So for 100%,
Do you guys mind if I hop in on what Atlas was saying before we switch over?
let's rock and roll.
I see some comments asking about it. Daryl Noddings was asking about VeChain. Yes, that is what VeChain does. So that there's already a project out there that already does exactly what we're talking about with the idea of you going to the grocery store, you scanning it, and it has the whole supply chain. So there are projects that are already out there that are already doing this. The idea is that Safemoon isn't the first to do any of this stuff, guys. We've mentioned this many times. They're not the first with the wallet. They're not the first with the blockchain. They're not the first with the exchange. The idea isn't that they're coming in and creating something that's never been done before. It's they're improving upon pre-established concepts and then figuring out what's wrong with those concepts or what's not working or etc. And then building upon those to build a whole product that's going to work in an ecosystem rather than just zeroing in on one use case, if that makes sense. Now, that's what we've been told, and I know that some people get upset because they go, well, where are these items yet? And as we mentioned before, I mean, Safemoon's not even a year old, guys. So I do want to cut them some slack in the fact that, yeah, they didn't hit the timelines that they said they were going to back in May, but there's a lot of things that happened from May till now with the team and with other aspects that change things. And so as long as they're able to produce these things that they've been being able to produce so far, we should see these things get fixed and we should see these improvements as they've said. I mean, the fact that we had a wallet as fast as we did, as much as complaints as there was, and the fact that it's as functional as it is, speaks volumes. So if we are able to get this exchange and this blockchain relatively soon, on top of all that, to me, that also speaks volumes, especially if those things work as well or even better than the wallet did once it released.
And sorry, there's also one cool point I want to add as well, and this is the way how we're going to transact with our money. So essentially, a really cool idea that I like when it comes to Web3 is how people collect funds. So we know Safemoon was trying to have a section where they tackle e-commerce, and the idea is that instead of having this long wallet address to where you paste a wallet address and send your cryptocurrency to that wallet address, you can literally take the website. So Safemoon website, if there's t-shirts or whatever on there, you can send cryptocurrency directly to the website. And how Web3 is going to function is that it's going to identify whatever the cryptocurrency blockchain is on, whatever that is, going to identify that and send it to its correct seed phrase that's on that website domain. And I think that's a big point. That eliminates PayPal. That eliminates a lot of these third-party services that we use to collect funds right now. That eliminates these long addresses. You can have a website. I can create a website and I can have my merchandise. I can have whatever product and services I want on there. And because of the power of Web3, all it takes is people copying and pasting my website. And due to me having the ability to connect my wallets and seed phrases to my website that hosts all the cryptocurrencies that I have, based off the blockchains that I've connected as well, that's going to identify the cryptocurrencies to collect funds. So I love the idea when it comes to how are we going to transact in Web3. I feel like that's going to be a big change, because how does PayPal function? How do these other third-party sites function in an environment where we don't need them? We are in control of our funds. We're in control of how we transact. And it all takes is, plugging all your seed phrases onto the website in the background of whatever Web3 is going to be offering. So I think that's going to be incredible. It's probably the biggest thing I'm looking forward to when it comes to Web3.
Absolutely. And guys, just to leave off on this note, actual Web3 is like actual metaverse. We're not even close to having it. Nobody, it's all hypotheticals or basic little points of it. We don't actually have it. Yeah, man. Great points, guys. Fantastic. All right. Ross Post says, doesn't it concern you guys that Safemoon guys, that they focus so much on big things instead of little things? Those little things will make or break the company, not stuff like nanoparticles. I could take this first, guys. It's good to have big dreams. If you don't have big dreams, you'll never have little dreams. You need stepping stones to get, to get somewhere. You need to, if you don't know where the finish line is, you're never going to take your first steps to start the marathon. What you do in between your first steps and the finish line, that's up to you in that marathon. And somewhere in between.
I would like to talk on this. I think they are starting off with little things. I think they are focusing on small stuff. Like, let's go to the Gambia, for instance. I mean, they're trying to get these people power, right? Isn't what's more basic than that? First they get them power, then they get them internet, then they get them currency, then they get them e-commerce. They're going right down to the root. They're making use cases. I mean, yeah, we're looking big with macro IoT and doing huge systems around the world, but they're starting small. They're talking about smart things. And when they want to get over there, they want to make sure the technology they bring there is the most efficient technology. So they're not going to let these communities down when they get involved in these communities. So they're just building the blocks right now. So just saying that they're focusing on big things, I think they're focusing on a lot of small things as well. And so I think that's the whole company as a whole. They're focusing on, they have a lot of stuff they're working on. And we don't know what all of it is, but they are starting in the roots, and they are telling us where they're starting with the roots. They're starting off in the Gambia. That's where the Project Phoenix is going. They're going to get them internet. They're going to get them electricity. They're going to get them a currency. And I think that's important to know, that it isn't a huge thing, but it's going to turn into a huge thing as it goes on. Because I know a lot of times people are talking about smart cities, which I definitely think they're going to be a part of. But I definitely think one of the greatest things that they're going to do is be a humanitarian effort over in the Gambia, and they're going to get people power who don't have it. So that's my thought on that question.
Excellent, man. Excellent.
I feel
Anybody else?
with Russ, he might have been hinting at, for example, a small thing would be the website changes. Adam, you had touched on that during the last roundtable. And I don't know if you saw it or not, or anybody else saw it, but they did do a slight change on the homepage finally for Safemoon. They took off the version 1 price information. So, it's not much of a change, but at least it's not misleading people. We need to get everyone over to version 2 and make sure that those little changes like that happen in an appropriate, timely manner. And I know I'm on the same page with you on this, Adam. That's something that was so small, but it has a big impact, and they should have taken care of it as soon as they moved over to version 2. So small things like that, yeah, they should put a little bit more time and consideration in getting that fixed. But overall, just like what Tim was saying, you're looking at the Gambia. It's not a major country in South Africa. It's a much smaller one, approximately 2.2 million population. And you use that as a starting point, and then you start to scale up. But what they're doing is ambitious. You got to ask yourself, though, where did they really start? In developing country, there's all these different reasons why the Gambia makes a lot of sense. So, yeah.
Guys, can I ask you guys for a favor? We have 402 people. We have 311 likes. Get the likes up, first of all. Thank you for that percentage. But could everybody in here just share this for a moment, please? So we get more people coming in here. I would appreciate that. All right, next question.
Do you guys mind if I touch on that just really quick?
Please.
So the one thing I got to say is I agree wholeheartedly that they need to pay attention to the small details, because the small details are very essential, right? You want to make sure that your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed. But when you're coming from a perspective of giving information out to us as the holders, if they spend, a Safemoon Sunday or a tweet saying, I guess a tweet could be more appropriate, but if you spend like a Safemoon Sunday being like, guys, we changed the price on the website, that's the big news today, no one cares. Right. I mean, if you're talking about a Safemoon Sunday, right? Obviously, a tweet's different. So when you watch the news, do they talk about the fact that there was a young man who helped the old lady cross the street? I mean, I'd love to hear those stories because I think they're important, and it shows the goodness of society and how we're developing. But they don't share those stories. They share the big news. What big things happened over the course of this week or this day or what time frame they're reporting news on, right? So when they have big dreams or big things go through, those are the things they're going to talk about, because those are the things that are most exciting to holders. Those are the things that are going to get people excited and ready and invest and prepare for what's to come in the future, not the small things. Although the small things are important from a execution standpoint, if you're coming through as like a news standpoint, giving people the news, giving people the information, they want to hear the big stuff. They don't necessarily care as much about the small stuff. So do the small things, maybe send out those tweets when they do get updated and those things are changed, and zero in on those during execution. But on the presenting of the information, I understand why they don't talk about the small things, because it's not the small things people are there to listen to.
Yeah. All right, this is a good one. Satoshi Safemoon Bets, guys. Shout out to this guy. I'm sure everybody knows him. This guy is everywhere. Really, really cool dude. He's a Cuban gentleman. Very nice guy. He says, okay, I'm here to support everyone. And today to support my boy Adam. Shout out to you. So in your guys' opinion, can Safemoon surpass Ethereum and Bitcoin in the future? RJ, what do you think?
Can Safemoon surpass Ethereum and Bitcoin? Look, man. Okay, so this is a very, very deep topic of conversation, and it really just comes back to what is the circulating supply by the time we're talking about this, right? Adam, you were giving out what did you say the circulating supply earlier was? I'm sorry, you gave it a circulating supply.
At the current market cap, you mean?
No, or someone
circulating. The total circulating supply is 570 billion. You can assume that billion. You can assume that the final circulating supply is going to be somewhere between 25 billion and 100 billion. That's the consensus between everybody. So if you want, fast forward this 10 years from now, if you'd like, to give yourself some time. So whatever price you're talking about, multiply it by how much? 6 to 20 times, right? After the burn.
So all I'm saying, right, is I did a video on this. It was like, can Safemoon reach $25? Okay. And it all literally kept. I was like, in its current circulating supply times your whatever future price you want, it has to make sense in terms of market cap, right? It's circulating supply times price equals your market cap.
RJ, you want me to answer?
So if no, because this is interesting, right? Because like you said, let's fast forward years. We truly don't know what the burn and the volume will look like. That's all it really comes down to, right? When we're talking about Operation Phoenix, when we're talking about exchanges, including ours, when we're talking about blockchain and projects get built on top of our stuff and it starts contributing to the burn, we just truly have absolutely no idea how much it's going to contribute to the burn to burn down our current circulating supply to a point where it could be below 25 billion in 5 years, in 10 years, and 15 years, right? If we're looking at, and I just pulled up CoinGecko here, Ethereum has a market cap of 454 billion, right? With a current circulating supply of 118 million. So if we can burn down to something like that, anything is possible, right? If we can burn down to a current circulating supply of Solana at 309 million, anything is possible is what I'm saying. But it all depends on burn. How low can we burn our circulating supply to reflect the market cap? I have no number for you, right? All I'm saying is we don't know how much the wind turbines, Phoenix, the exchanges, our blockchain will contribute to the burn. We have absolutely no freaking idea. That's the truth. And how fast can it burn it down? So
can I make a comment? So like we're thinking about, everyone's thinking about price because they want to say, oh, is Safemoon, can it reach like $50,000 or $60,000? No, I don't think it can. And I think that what a lot of people are missing here is the reflections. So we might quadruple, 10x our bag size. And so it doesn't matter if the price is like $50,000 or even $1,000. If we have like 10 times the amount that we're holding, it's going to be worth so much more. I think that's the idea behind Safemoon. It's a different type of animal. It's not supposed to reach $50,000 or $60,000 or even what Ethereum is pushing at, like $4,000. I think it's supposed to be smaller, but as you hold it and as the volume clicks through, you gain more and more in reflections. You increase your bag size, and then essentially it will increase what you have overall when it comes to value. So I think when you're looking at the two, it's really hard to compare them because they're different animals. Yes, I would love it if it turned to $50,000 a token, but then it would also make it more, unaccessible to a lot of people. And I think it is supposed to be accessible, especially if they're putting into these countries like where they're putting them at. And I think it's all about circulation and generating wealth just by holding on through it through reflections. That's my idea behind it all.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Tim pretty much hit it on the head for sure. But when you have a conversation, we're talking about Safemoon surpassing Bitcoin, Ethereum. I mean, Bitcoin's been around past 11, 12 years. Ethereum has been around, almost 10 years at this point. These coins have had a lot of time in the market, and I don't think they're going to be going anywhere. We know Bitcoin is the, store of value. If you want to hold your profit somewhere, hold in Bitcoin. Bitcoin will most likely be the less volatile crypto when it comes to the bear market, if there is a bear market. In Ethereum, I mean, so many things are building on Ethereum. We know Ethereum 2.0 is going to be coming out. It's going to solve the majority of the gas fees issues, going to a proof of stake blockchain. I don't want to be that guy to say Safemoon is not going to do it, but it's going to be a very rough animal to overtake because these coins have had so much time in the market. There's so much big money that's involved in Ethereum and Bitcoin. For anything to surpass those two tokens, not just Safemoon, for a Solana, for a BNB, for a Cardano, for anything to surpass Ethereum becoming the number 2 token in the world. Now, granted, the last bull run, XRP did it. XRP did flip Ethereum, being the second coin at the time. But that's a very rough idea when it comes to, these tokens have had so much time in the market to prove themselves. The amount of money, the amount of people, the amount of investors, the amount of adoption these two tokens have had. For anything to flip it is incredible. Now, Safemoon does have the framework to do so. I believe so. I don't know if it will, but the blockchain is incredible in my opinion. The exchange, the ideas, trying to bring sustainable energy to a country that doesn't have much of anything to offer. If they can pull that off and duplicate that to other countries and expand that and scale that to, let's say, parts of Asia, eventually parts of Europe, eventually the first world countries do adopt that system, parts of the United States, parts of Canada, parts of the UK, then when it comes to utility, real world applications, Safemoon probably does have the best when it comes to the entirety of the crypto market. If they can pull off those numbers, and they can really revolutionize energy resources in a country. So I think it has the ability, but those particular coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's going to be rough for anything to flip them, just because of how long they've been in the market and how much confidence people have. Big money, a lot of big money has confidence in those two tokens. So if anything flips it, I'll be surprised, but I wouldn't put it past Safemoon to do so.
Do you guys think Safemoon can reach a circulating supply of 250 million?
Well, ask Papa. Papa said 100 million, right? So
I'm asking you guys. In time, do you guys think Safemoon can reach a circulating supply of 250 million coins?
250 million.
I
Yeah,
don't,
no.
I don't know about that. No.
No.
In my opinion, it technically could. It's not
Yeah.
mathematically it's possible, but is it likely? It's not.
When do you
I would
guys
say
think
you'd
the
have to
burn is going to
change.
stop?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So,
You're good.
So Gandalf and Katz talked about this, both the question as far as the price could ever hit Ethereum and Bitcoin prices, and the idea of what our supply is going to look like in the future. And in that kind of conversation that he talked about, this was during a Twitter space a couple of weeks ago, he mentioned that the team is not looking to have Safemoon ever reach a point where we're talking massive amounts of dollars per coin. Because like Tim was saying, that's not what Safemoon's been about. That's
Right.
not what they're trying to be. And they don't want a freakishly high price. They want the price to be mostly reasonable because of the utility that they're trying to implement. And the real value of Safemoon, like Tim mentioned, is in those reflections, is in the mechanics of how Safemoon works, not just the dollar amount that it's compared to a fiat currency. So to make that happen, they're not going to allow the supply to get so low that it causes those higher prices when more value is added to the project. So I don't know the number, and no one has announced the number, especially since we've moved over to V2, and we don't have an official number yet. But I would imagine it's not going to get terribly low. So 250 is possible because it's mathematically possible, but it's extremely unlikely. Not only because there's going to be so many people holding it that they won't allow it to get that low, but on top of that, it's because their development team's not going to allow it to be that low because they want it to be not as high as it is now, but a little bit lower than it is now, but not terribly low.
Can I touch on the
Yeah, go
if
for it.
Safemoon? Okay, so when I look at the original question, if Safemoon could potentially surpass Bitcoin and Ethereum, I would say that there is a feasible chance that it could surpass Ethereum, but not really. I feel that confident about Bitcoin. Yes, you factor in how long they've been around. That is a major contributing point for sure. When I look at Bitcoin in its number one position, I also factor in its proof of work consensus model and the fact that you have so many different nodes and validators out there to help support the security of the system. And because of how long it's been around, adds more credibility to its existence. So I think where we're transitioning right now is that we originally had everyone in their countries were backed off of gold. Then we moved off of gold during Richard Nixon's time period, and we moved on to the dollar. The dollar is the strongest currency in the world as far as our economy goes. But with the rate of inflation, especially in the last 2 years, we're excessively printing money and it's devaluing not only our own economy, but it's having an impact on China and Russia, and it's causing a lot of instability and concern. And so as a result of that, we are now seeing the Federal Reserve looking into trying to create a digital dollar, trying to compete with some of the other cryptocurrencies that are out there, but also because of pandemic-based issues. You don't want to necessarily hand someone cash or accept physical cash because you're concerned about getting sick. And then using the blockchain technology, there's a lot of benefits to tracking with that. China is already in development. I think they've actually created it and started implementing it of a digital yuan. So they're using blockchain technology, but in those regards, those are centralized. Yes, it uses the blockchain technology, but you can push a button and mass print out more of this digital money within that space. You can shut down people's accounts with all that. When you look at Safemoon, the accessibility from the core team with the contract, they can make significant changes, especially with Safemoon version 2. And who knows if they go to a Safemoon version 3 for whatever reason in the future with that as well. When you look at Bitcoin, it is decentralized. It's very hard coded in this way. It's hard to make any of these kind of updates like Taproot. There's a lot of approval processes that need to go through for any of that stuff to really take place. So I think where we're transitioning in the future, and I don't know how soon this will be, but I think we'll move countries' currencies off of the dollar, which is a centralized format, and move it off of backing your digital crypto for your country off of Bitcoin itself. So because of that, the rate of adoption, the reliability for Bitcoin from a global standpoint is going to have more opportunity of getting accepted, whether it be transmitted and transactions and things like that. But just as a simple backing mechanism to validate your economy's worth, I think that's where we're going to be transitioning over to for that one. When you look at Ethereum, Ethereum 2.0 is looking to try and troubleshoot a lot of the issues with Ethereum 1.0 that we're on right now, like the gas fees. However, it's been something they've been progressively trying to find a solution to. And there is no solution right now. There's a huge problem where when they go to migrate this over, you're changing the whole consensus model, and it could potentially collapse. And think about how many thousands of cryptocurrencies that are developed out there that exist on the Ethereum blockchain. If Ethereum collapses, what do you think is going to happen to everything else? It's going to have a rippling effect. So there's a lot of danger in actually making that transition over. And I think with Safemoon, you look at supply and demand. They're both elements. So the supply dropping down, yeah, it's easier for the price to go up. The burning mechanism is what would cause the supply to go down. But at the same time, the demand increases as we have more utility, which is what we're talking about. So you don't necessarily need to have a burning mechanism to have the price go up to then affect the market cap and potentially have it overtake Ethereum. You can just simply have more use cases. You can have more demand. When you release the Safemoon blockchain, that's going to create more demand. The Safemoon exchange, more demand. You have a card, right? You create instances that fills the common means of transactions and applications that Ethereum isn't really trying to target, and they can't practically apply themselves to it because they have that hurdle right now, which is that gas fee. They have to first solve that problem. So where I'm looking at with where Ethereum is right now, Safemoon's in a better position moving forward. If they cannot resolve those issues, then I could very feasibly see Safemoon, maybe 10 years down the road, surpassing Ethereum in that position for number 2. But for number 1,
All right, man.
Well said. Well
great.
said.
Yeah, well said. I like it. I like it. That was awesome, guys. I'm going to make some videos on what a few people said. But I agree with what everybody said. Especially that thing about you're not buying Safemoon for the price of Safemoon. You're buying Safemoon for the reflections. It's a different mechanism. But that's a good one. All right. What makes an ideal Safemoon blockchain? What would be different or special about that in your opinion? But before I do that, I just want to give a shout out to Sharon. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sharon. Happy birthday to you. All right. What makes an ideal Safemoon blockchain? What would be special about it, in your opinion?
Proof of device. What do you guys think of that?
Proof of device. What is that?
Proof of device is it's having a device and it's proving who you are on the blockchain. And it's actually a concept they were talking about. I forget. Someone else has proof of device. Is it Helium? Is it Golem?
Yeah, Golem GNT, I think, is what they were talking about. You're in the Twitter space yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I was lurking.
Yeah, I was listening to it as well. I was trying to do research on my video, but everyone was just going on and on about proof of device, and I haven't dug into it yet. Now, I do know that when the Safemoon blockchain was brought up, and to Papa, he said that it's the way that it validates really excites him. And so proof of device is a pretty unique way of validating transactions. I don't know a lot about it as of right now, and I assume that one of you guys would probably know because this is a muscle of information here. How about you, RJ? Do you know what proof of device is?
I'm trying to find it. I don't know if it's in my Instagram, my Twitter, or my YouTube, but someone really literally just told me about proof of device, and I haven't gotten a chance to look into it either. So this all came. Yeah, I'm trying to search for who had pinged it to me, but yeah.
Bro, look how many videos Tim is giving us. He's just giving us layups. Look how many videos he's giving us.
But yeah, there's lots of information out there. Proof of device is yet another authentication mechanism via proof of device. Users can automatically validate their hardware to further prove their identity is an anonymous yet trusted manner. This feature can be useful for any online service that needs authentic users. So
Isn't
that's
that
one
proof
of
of authentication?
I guess you do it through hardware. So the hardware that you're using, you use it to validate your process.
There's another name for that. It's called proof of capacity. So I think that's also the very same thing. I think people might understand proof of capacity as well. Because what you described is really what proof of capacity is. You're using your hardware, like you just said, your hard drive, to essentially validate transactions versus the traditional way of validating.
The Pi network currently uses this concept, or they're looking to implement. They're actually going to their mainnet here relatively soon. So if anyone uses the Pi Wallet app, that's what they're looking to do.
Now, would that be an ideal situation for the blockchain? I don't know. I mean, that's a great question. I know that some people were talking about this last night. What would make it different and special? Obviously, the validation process would make it different. But you were talking to Papa, and you asked him some awesome questions at him about what makes it different about the layers, and you did a great video on that as well. So you want to go into the layers that that Papa was talking
Sure,
about?
sure. So I say this a lot of times, guys. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to come up with something. I'm not saying we're not. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying it's not necessary to do in order to make an amazing next level blockchain. Because even when you talk about proof of stake, there's many different types of proof of stakes, and the way you break down everything and the way you actually prove it. So like there could be many validators within the validation process of the entire proof of stake. Anyways, all we need is a proof of stake or a DAG, but we're not going to get that. A proof of stake that's going to allow us to have a minimum of 1,000 or more transactions per second in the beginning. And if we can increase that later, we're going to win. Why do I keep using this number 1,000 is because 1,000 is approximately the amount of transactions Visa and MasterCard do per second. They do like, I think 14 and 1,700 respectively. So at 1,000, you're not going to get bottlenecked. And then you can upgrade with different using layers. But essentially all the layers is layer one is the actual guts of the blockchain, like your protocol, your consensus, how much data you have, how much bits. Layer two is the actual transactions from point A to point B, like sending money. And then you can have side chains that take the bottlenecking off of the actual blockchain, and that's how you increase your transactions per second. And then you have the smart contracts, the brains, the dApps, the DEXs, and stuff like that, which is what I was trying to say, that if we release a blockchain that is like the first version of it, all it has to do is send Bitcoin Safemoon from one point A to point B, right? It doesn't have to have smart contracts right away. We can have smart contracts a year later, for example, which is what a lot of blockchains do. So in my opinion, all we need to do is make a nice proof of stake and have the ability to use layers, which a lot of blockchains, pretty much all of them do it, and have some interesting, intricate details in there. Binance sucks. Binance is not a great blockchain by any means. It takes a super long amount of time for your transactions to show up on the blockchain, right? Somebody says that they were doing huge transactions and it took like 2 hours or something like that. You have other blockchains which they show up, almost instantaneously, and by 10 minutes or less, you're golden because you can see the transaction right away. That's just my own personal opinion. Yeah, man.
I would say, since we're looking at mass adoption, I would like to see low, stable, consistent transaction fees. So anytime you're doing any kind of trade, regardless of what crypto it is, if you're doing it through the Safemoon blockchain, have it be at a set value, a low price, so that the average everyday person, people that live in the Gambia, that don't necessarily make a lot of money, they can be able to do trades, they can be able to make a living and accept it for goods or services. That's what I would like to see.
So usually the way it works with a stable proof of stake, like exactly what you said, they'll take like a point something. Like for example, Algorand 0.001, if I'm not mistaken. Algorand is how much it costs to do your transactions. So Safemoon's going to have a small amount. Interesting, on a side note, once we have our blockchain, what's going to happen with the burning mechanism? How are we going to burn? And I have an answer to that. Anybody go to that? So they're gonna. So it's so interesting. A lot of blockchains right now are starting this burning mechanism. So Ethereum did it with their London upgrade. Binance is doing it right now. I think Avalanche does it. I think a lot of them, and more are going to start doing that. And what they do is they burn part of the fees, the validation fees. So like, let's say, arbitrary number, you were to get 100 Safemoon for being a validator, they would take 5 Safemoon would get burnt, and you can interchange that with Ethereum, whatever you want, and that's the way they're going to keep burning in the future. My personal opinion. I don't know anything more than what I'm saying, but it's pretty cool, right, to think about.
So I don't think necessarily that. I mean, because we already have a burn mechanism, right? And we've already talked about they don't want the supply getting too low. So maybe at a higher price, that could be something that they do to try to help the burn move along. As the price goes up, there'll be less tokens burned per transaction. But what I kind of want to see, not that I want to see, but I think of it as an interesting concept for the blockchain is we've talked a lot about windmill technology and them adding electricity and these other components and them being a tech company. What if theoretically, instead of the cost of each transaction being upon the users themselves for the gas fees, what if the income generated from these alleged, whether they're wind turbines or they move to another method, what if those were able to generate money because they're in use and therefore they generate electricity and therefore that's value? What if there was some form of a pool that these could generate, which would be kind of a gas fee pool, and then whoever is the validators will get their cut of the collective pool that gets generated from the wind turbines, and they can even section that off as another tier system, like they have built in already with the V2 contract, where a certain portion of the income generated for those could go towards future generation of future setups. So if they wanted to put more wind turbines in another area, there would be a fund already set aside to build those in places there. So the gas fees could essentially be free, paid for by the technology and the electricity generated from the wind turbines. I don't even know if that would be functional or if that would even generate enough income to even cover them, but it could potentially at least reduce the gas fees, if not albeit completely get rid of them.
Pretty dope. We'll go to the next question. Just remember, what happens to the LP when we end up having a blockchain? So there's no need for the 4% burn. We're not going into this. Just saying, food for thought. Interesting stuff later on. We got a sticker, DJ Gosef. Thank you so much for the $5. We appreciate you, homie. 1010 Buns. Sounds like a porn star name. Do you think Safemoon will make a splash for the Super Bowl? Do you think we will have anything to show for the said splash? Maybe something with Netflix. What do you guys think is going to happen for Super Bowl? When is the Super Bowl? Where's Brian Young?
First week of February.
Yeah, I think
Sunday,
John
usually.
said he wasn't going to do anything during the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So they said they can better allocate those
elsewhere.
funds. Yes.
And I agree. So I think you could use the money elsewhere. Like Safemoon could, use their advertising dollars on all of our channels. That would be great.
Guys,
The idea of it, the Netflix documentary coming out around February, I could potentially see that being a good time frame, given everything that's happened. And I guess they already filmed everything for that documentary, right? So you go into post-production, you got the acquisitions already for the rights with Netflix. It's almost a 1 year mark, so around February to March for something like that. It could be.
It's interesting, and I'm going to go off script and off topic a little bit here, and it's just food for thought, really, to be honest, because Tim just totally, I have like mild ADD sometimes, it's like self-diagnosed ADD, but Tim said they can just allocate those funds to our channels. I am actually in the works of working with a company that I actually truly, to my very core, believe that every crypto user should have. And they don't want to hire internal salespeople. They would actually rather work with content creators who have a really well-established, high engagement with their audience. And they would rather give them kind of like a contract to, in a way, work out a deal. And I was like, that makes sense, because they're like, if we just hire our own sales department, right, and we just start selling you guys stuff, well, of course, we're selling you our products. But if you have an established audience, let's say crypto, Generation Crypto, Safemoon Tim, you guys have a very high caliber audience that's very engaging. Let's work with you, and then you are pretty much our sales team, right? I was like, that's kind of genius, actually. I like that. But anyway, it was off topic, because you were like, they should allocate it to YouTube channels. I was like, that's crazy, because a company's already doing that right now, right? They're literally no longer hiring an internal sales team they're willing to work with content creators to.
that would be dope.
Let me ask you guys a question. So, Safemoon is its own monster. It's a massive cryptocurrency. It has a large community. But what kind of effect do you think us YouTubers has had on the popularity of the token, if any at all? Or do you think the token just beyond us and we're just, additives when it comes to the whole community and army?
Well, I would just want to say one thing. So Safemoon Joe is actually in the thing. So I honestly think our army would be like, if I had to throw a number, at least 5% less, like a huge number, right? Like I want to, like, he brought in so many people into the community. So shout out to him. And I think it was just him and Michael at the time, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to them. They definitely pulled the people in, especially in the dark ages, if you want to call it, in the beginning. But
Just a few months ago.
But
It
yeah,
seems
shout
like
out.
forever.
Shout out to Safemoon Joe for
Seems
sure.
like
Yeah.
a lifetime ago.
Yeah, I think
But-
when the price started after the spike fell, after you had the initial pump, the all-time high, and it started going down. When all those content creators came out there, I definitely think that they held a lot of people from selling because they gave them hope. So I think that they did a great job in making sure that people, weren't scared, that they weren't getting. And plus, look at the Fudhound, what he did. I mean, he built all these videos to try to make sure that people weren't getting the wrong information. And I think that's important. I think, I'm not trying to toot our own horns, but I think it's good giving people information that they don't have so that they could be informed, so they're not making a decision that they will regret in the future because someone told them something that wasn't true. So I think, it's an important thing, but this community is great. I love doing content for them. I love chatting with you guys, and I think it's an important everything that's going on in this community.
Atlas, if you don't mind me asking, when did you start making segment videos?
In April. That was right around the time when I first started buying it, and that was middle April,
Okay.
like April 17th or so.
Was that around the time Joe was doing it, or that's after him? Joe was mad early, right? I mean, how much earlier could it have been?
I don't know.
My first
I know I
official
did a
video
lot
was
of
June
crypto.
Joe, you're in the audience. When did you start your channel, if you don't mind letting us
The
know?
channel
Just
or on
curious.
Safemoon?
When did Joe start doing Safemoon videos?
Okay.
I'm curious.
Yeah, my very first Safemoon
I'll
video
check it
was
out.
June 7.
June
I wanted to
7th.
make a note, by the way. So I think we do have an impact as social influencers. We're a media outlet, and people are looking for information. That information that they receive is either good or bad. One way or the other, it's going to have an impact on the decisions that they make moving forward. If you invest into a project, you're probably going to want to find out some more information as it goes along because you want to know if you made a good or a bad investment. If they're not watching us, they're watching somebody else. So yeah, we do have an impact on the community, letting them know what's in the latest news, letting them know projections. A lot of times we see remarks that they say and it makes us think, and you're like, hey, that's a good video. Let's go do a topic on that. And it addresses a lot of the concerns and issues like what we were saying with the Fudhound moving forward.
Safemoon Joe's first video was 7 months ago, so he's
He
been doing.
started early.
He's an
early.
OG.
He just said in the chat that it was early April.
Yeah, man. So, shout out. But listen, I think that definitely we have a huge impact with the army, and I honestly think we have some. So, like, let's say if you want to break down our audience out of 100, right? So maybe like 70% are just casuals that tune in on us once in a while, but then you have like 30% or 20% that are hardcore, like, this is my guy that I'm going to be watching, like, that's his opinion, like, we resonate our opinion, our style with our audience, right? And they don't, and they'll be like, no, that's my guy. Like, sometimes I'll make like a comment and they're like, well, F you, I love RJ. I'm like, whoa, 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 I didn't say nothing. I'm talking about like trees, and they're like RJ, or you know what I mean, for example. So yeah, but it's really, really cool, and RJ resonates this all the time, and that's what we were trying to tell everybody earlier. If you're a social influencer, even on the Twitter Spaces specifically, guys, let's all get along, put our differences, aside, and you'll be surprised when you talk to somebody face to face or face to face. You'll be surprised how cool people are. Like, bro, it took me and RJ like all of 40 seconds to speak, and we're like, oh wow, okay, cool. Like, it was a totally different thing, and yeah, Shall we move
Yeah,
on, gentlemen?
You know the
Oh,
end
actually-
game? I want everyone here to make a crap ton of money. You know why? Because guess what? If you're all making a crap ton of money, I'm making a crap a ton of money too. So I don't see why anyone should be at anyone else's throat. We're all in the same investment.
100%.
It's the same exact thing.
100%.
yeah.
Right.
I-
We're
I
all
re-
in
I
this
really-
together.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I
Andre,
really
go.
think we as a society has truly and sadly lost the ability to have a civil conversation back and forth, right? I feel like nowadays when someone approaches someone with either criticism, whether it's constructive or not, I feel like the vast majority of our society nowadays doesn't know how to handle it. So their first reaction is to be defensive or just backlash, and it's sad. It's sad. We really need to be able to bring back the ability to have civil conversations. It's okay to disagree, everyone. It is okay. You could still have a conversation and respect each other by the end of it. Let's go back to that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome. Do you think they will make the tax to V1 30% or a different percentage just to shut it off completely in the near future? In my opinion, maybe, but it really doesn't matter, man. They're going to close it eventually. You have about a month to keep it moving, and that's it. One way or the other, it's gone.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
they
well,
open
no,
up
John-
people, it's over.
John actually made a tweet. No, sorry, not tweet. He was actually in Discord saying that there's a lot of veterans who are deployed, in other parts of the world right now, who are in the army that are big Safemoon investors, and they physically don't have the ability to migrate from V1 to V2. And he said he's going to keep it open as long as possible to accommodate people like those people who are serving right now, who don't have the opportunity to access their wallet and go into Safemoon and swap and do all this stuff. So I think it's going to be a little over a month. If you do consider those types of people, and typically when you go to service, it can be anywhere between 6 months to a couple of years. So we don't really know when it comes to, if you're going to cater to those kind of people, which it's a great thing. Obviously, you need to consider them, and they're big, massive Safemoon supporters. You can have the version 1 to version 2 migration open for probably a year. You could.
Yeah, man. Yeah, keep moving.
I'm hoping that they make it higher than 30%, because as long as version 1 is open, if you get enough of a price discrepancy, then people are just going to keep doing arbitrage,
Right.
and it's going to be an issue. So yeah, push it up 50, 80%, man. Just start throwing in more in the burn wallet. I don't care. Just
Right.
make it high enough that everyone wants to get over to version 2 as soon as possible.
Bro, I don't want to hear nothing. I know for a fact Ryan and John are in the back watching my videos. Sometimes they're like, "Oh shit, change that." All right, let's keep rocking. Hex supply similar to Safemoon. Our possible potential. Bullish Kenny G. Yep. Honestly, bro, we honestly don't know. We don't know what they're gonna do, what's gonna come out, when it's gonna come out. There's so many things that we don't know, and all of it is just speculation. But we do have a lot of potential. Biggest potential, Safemoon Army. What's this? Has anybody looked at or knows of Joshua Chilcutt, who lives in my hometown in Australia, listed as Vice President Operations, UFC? Really?
I'll
Tim?
look him up. I'll have to look him up. I'll get on that.
Looks like you guys just
More
gave
videos coming
Tim a new
soon.
video.
I'll find him. I'll call him up. I'll invite him over
Everyone's
to my house.
Googling
We'll have
right
a
now.
drink.
Didn't John say that he hired somebody off of Linkopedia, and that was the guy, if I'm not mistaken? He said he was Australian. He used to run some big Australian company. I could be mistaken. But yeah, bro, Safemoon Oz, you just gave him a video too. Safemoon Tim.
He has helped me out in the past. I love the Safemoon Army. They're always sharing information with me. They always give me leads. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have half the videos that I do. They just send me stuff. They say, look into this. There's a lot of stuff I do look into where I'm just like, how the hell is this going to do it? But then there's some stuff where you look into and you're just like, oh my God, this is a smoking gun. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for sending me stuff. And Adam, didn't you just do one that was similar? Where
Bro,
people
yeah.
just start sending you stuff and you're just like, okay, now I got to dissect it and I got to ingest it and I got to figure it out.
I did the same thing, and I even said it on my video, or I think I messaged it. I'm like, bro, I feel like Safemoon Tim. Like, I literally asked for the address of. I literally said like, oh, what's the address of the Safemoon headquarters? And I feel like the Brandon guy owns the building, or he made the deal, or he's somewhere there. And it turns out he's in the same building. And I just got so many DMs, bro. My phone blew up. So yeah, you guys are awesome, man. Like that's what I'm trying to say. People are on your team. Like we are basketball teams, if you want to, think about it, and they like support you. Like, yo, let's give you guys as much information as possible. Um, Interestingly enough, 2 round tables. I make a picture of me and Atlas, and bro, like I get mad views on those videos, like, and it's like Atlas's people, and they're like, "Oh, what are you saying about Atlas?" I'm like, "I'm not saying nothing." Like, and I get so many views on those
Sexiest
videos.
man of the year.
True.
Sexiest YouTuber. Let's be serious. You're the sexiest YouTuber of the year.
All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. What else we got, yo? You guys are great, man. You guys are great.
One of these days I should do this roundtable from the headquarters of Safemoon.
Yeah, do it in the hallway. Sit on a bench right outside the office. And when John walks by,
Bro, if you guys ever want to do that, I'm down to go.
I'm literally pretty close. I can make a couple hour drive and I'm there. I'm at their doorstep. So
might be a couple days.
Deliver a pizza to them and have it undercover with a camera and like find out all this stuff,
I might.
I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
I might or might not have a spy planted already at John's next event where he's a speaker. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm going to take that to my grave. But I might have somebody going. All right, let's go. When do you think the volume will start to rise? By how much and why? The volume will start rising, not financial advice, in exactly January 17th at 4:01 a.m. It's going to rise. Yeah, that's the truth. It's going to go from approximately the 500 million that we have right now to approximately, 500,000 to around 500,001. And why? Because I said so. Now, I have no idea, man.
I think this week, because we're supposed to get that product news video, and usually when it comes to any news specific content, doesn't even have to be like a product or service, just news and something bullish and something awesome, right? It tends to fall with good price action. So if they do fulfill that end of year Project Phoenix video, and I would imagine it's gonna be incredible because now we're seeing maybe some footage they film when they're actually over there in the Gambia. We actually see what the footage is, John talking to the ambassador. That alone is a price catalyst, which is obviously going to influence the volume going up. So we could see that in the coming days. Hopefully they fulfill, like I say, that date of end of year releasing that video and those specific piece of content. So a couple of days, look out for it.
I agree with you on that. I think that also as far as a price point goes, once Operations Phoenix's details come out, we could be testing that 20 range. Right now we're around the 17, 18 kind of period. I think testing up around the 20 is something feasible. As far as for something more sustained and the longevity of it, if they can release the Safemoon Exchange in the first quarter of next year, that's something that's really going to have a lot of flow moving in.
I think we'll have $1 trillion next month.
There you go.
Hey, with inflation, look, everyone's laughing. You keep printing out money, it's going to make it basically worthless. $1 trillion could be something very real in the next future. Go to McDonald's and you got to do the $100 menu,
So according to the SEC, we had 6.9% inflation as of December 9th this year.
Awesome. Listen, man. People are like, RJ, you're crazy that you're trying to move the majority of your cryptos and the majority of your equities and assets into crypto. No, it's not. Look at what's happening to the US dollar. Look at inflation. It is not a crazy thing.
We printed more money in the last 2 years than we printed since the inception of the US dollar.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
That's a fact, bro. We bailed out more money than World War II times like
basic economics.
All right, guys. What are your realistic expectations for Safemoon in the first half of 2022? Bro, I just want to get to a penny. That was my number the whole time. I get the same exact thing all the time. Just go up to a penny.
I think Tim said it best, $1 trillion in volume. That's what I'm looking for.
It'll be doing good. We'll all like quadruple our bags every single second. It'll be great. I mean, that would be best case scenario, right, guys? 1 trillion. I mean, even all the commenters. Let's say $1 trillion. Like who? Billions. Trillion.
Bro, trillion would be dope, bro.
Yeah.
We'd be
1
rich.
trillion volume.
I would say in the next 6 months, realistically, after all the paperwork submissions to try and get the money service business license, the money transmitter license that John's been doing. I did all that research before. I think it's very realistic that in the next 6 months, we could see the Safemoon Exchange, the Safemoon blockchain, both being implemented, rolling out. We're still waiting on the Safemoon card. I believe before it was talking about working in partnership with Apple Pay. I don't know if that's still on the table. I know originally they were working on trying to have a partnership with Simplex, and instead we got MoonPay and we got I forgot the name of the other one.
Wire.
Wire. Thank you very much. So I think the card is something that's potentially on the table. That's probably going to follow after the blockchain. We get the blockchain first, then the opportunities with the wind turbines getting rolled out over into the Gambia. But I think more than likely we're going to see in the first 6 months, if they finish the wind turbine and the blockchain, it's more about allowing us to be aware in the community through like a Safe Moon Sunday. Hey guys, we have gotten the okay from the Gambia. So now it's about us just taking the next steps of shipping everything over and how the assembly is going to be worked out. But they have given us the go to actually get them put in there. And now we just have to get them there. I would love to hear that in the future AMA, and I would not be surprised if that's something that might even be coming up here in Operation Phoenix's next video. I don't know.
Nice, nice, nice.
Thank you for touching on that topic, because this is, ever since I've been a part of Crypto.com's card, I really am looking forward to Safemoon's card, and I want to see how they do it, because I want to drop the Crypto.com card for Safemoon's card if they can make it as legit AF. That's something I've been excited about. Do you guys own any of the crypto cards like BlockFi? Right?
Yeah, I have the
BlockFi
BlockFi card.
Oh, very cool. How do you like that?
Sorry, go ahead.
I like it. Every time I make a purchase, I get Bitcoin back as a reward.
1.5% goes into Bitcoin.
Yeah, and then if you sign up the first 90 days or something, they give you a little bit extra, from what I recall.
Not one of those cards available in my country. So if it can be available globally, like I don't have, I have a Crypto.com website account. I have an account for a lot of these other exchanges, and all their cards are blocked in my country. I live in the Cayman Islands, if you guys don't know. So I can't get any cards. I can't. I've applied for all these cards, and it's like, oh, we have your country on a list, and when your list is approved, we'll.
That sucks, bro.
So I can't get any card. So if SafeMoon can make that available globally, where people like me who are outside of the States, Canada, the UK, if we can acquire the SafeMoon card, then that's just going to be incredible, because it will be the first one to do so, because a lot of these cards, they're not available around the world.
I have the Coinbase card that I never actually used. And now that I opened up my YouTube channel, I'm like, I want to use a Coinbase card to get, my rewards. And I can't find it. I keep ordering new ones, but anyways, that would make sense.
So
what's go ahead, Alice.
Moonboy, right? So Moonboy, let me ask you, do you have access to using Apple Pay over where you're at?
No, we don't have Apple Pay.
No Samsung Pay, Google Pay.
Buy SafeMoon direct in the wallet, because MoonPay, Apple Pay, Wire, none of that is available in my country. So I can't even directly buy with my debit card in the SafeMoon wallet.
That's interesting. So I did a video months ago about Apple Pay, and just kind of put into perspective that if SafeMoon did go in partnership with them, Apple Pay is accepted at a lot of places. So I'm sorry that it's not accepted over in your area right now. Grocery stores, gas stations, a lot of places, and then including other countries too. But that sucks. You don't.
Yeah, like even PayPal. We can't even link our bank accounts to PayPal. So if I want to get PayPal funds, I have to either have a account in the States or the UK, or just use the funds and buy off Amazon. But I can't physically get the PayPal money into my bank account, because banks locally are not recognized. So I'm not sure if my country is just so far behind everything else. I think that's probably the case here. But a lot of restrictions are not only my country. I know a lot of other countries around the world who are considered, second world, third world, parts of Central America as well. If SafeMoon can figure out tapping into those markets, because a lot of these PayPal opportunities and getting cards for crypto opportunities, they're not available. If SafeMoon can be the first, then that's millions, billions of people that now have the opportunity to have a crypto card where I can just literally have my SafeMoon plugged in, have my Ethereum, whatever, go to the store, go to the gas station. If they can be the first, it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, that's a great point that you're saying. But guys, don't feel too bad for him. He has no taxes. Just wanted to put that out there.
These guys talk about tax and taxable events, and I don't know what that is. I've never paid tax in my life, so sounds like a big headache.
RecMax, yeah, somebody's saying that Coinbase credit card actually gives you 4% back in XLM. I definitely got to get that. Let's finish this thing up.
I saw that. That's a really sick
Fantastic.
sure.
Everybody that owns SafeMoon card will hold a debit card that refills itself. Hide from your wife.
Please.
All right. Oh, I see Mike with the big $20. Guys, I appreciate all your hard work. You all have different opinions, styles, and ideas, but the message is always the same. Together we stand, divided we fall. P.S. Crypto Atlas, please unblock me. Yeah, he's been asking. He's been.
I didn't
asking
block
for-
him.
he's
I
been
didn't block
asking
anyone
for
on
a
my
while.
channel.
One of your mods may have last week. He may have said something that got him blocked. You might need to just go back to your channel and block him.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, I see Mike. I want to give him a shout out, bro. Like, I never shied away from a conversation with him. He didn't always have the most pleasant things to talk about. SafeMoon, he was actually an early investor. This is just from what he tells me. I have no idea to verify this. And he had 20 billion SafeMoon in the beginning. I think he sold at the peak, and he still has at this point like 1 million or something. Cool dude though. Always respectful. What else, guys? Anybody else have some questions? What are we doing, guys? Calling it a night?
Moon Boy, I got a question for you. Why you got all these shell companies over where you live? What's going on with that? Is there just like a whole bunch of empty buildings in a ghost town? You think it's a Hollywood set? You walk around and you're like, it's got a business sign. There's no one in there. What's going on there?
It's filled with
So
cash.
there's this one building in my country that has 20,000 registered countries in that one building. And the idea is to try to avoid taxes, tax evasion. It happens a lot in my country. You can set up a company here and, for you guys have to pay tax, funnel your money through here. You don't have to pay any tax. A lot of people do that. A lot of companies do that. And it's just a way to save money, because when you have a company that makes billions of dollars and you have to pay tax on that, it's a massive amount of money. I know that's shady. I understand. But there's a lot of that happens down here. So a lot of people trying to, avoid tax and contributing to the government. And that's one building with 20,000 registered companies. Imagine the other ones as well. I think there's a number in 2019 where, I don't know, we had about 2 million registered companies overall in the country, 2 million. And our population is 60,000 people. So there's not companies that are created locally, right? A lot of companies abroad come down here for this specific purpose to avoid tax. So, hey, I don't agree with it, but it happens. And our government allows it. So I
You
don't want to
like
get too
walk into the
controversial
building
here.
and there's a little plaque on a office cubicle that says the name of the company. You're like, this is Google. And the phone's just off the line beeping because, obviously no one's ever going to answer that phone call.
Yeah.
You want to know some? Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know how much of this I can talk about and not get in trouble. No, I'm not gonna talk about that stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of shady stuff. So yeah, maybe offline. I'll talk about it here.
Yeah, he's saying that because his house is a registered location for like companies.
Yo, you know that
Shell Corporation XYZ. Isn't that Moonboy?
Hey, well,
He's like
you
pushing
guys
the sign
have
behind
stores?
his thing away.
Yeah, like you guys have stores where you're selling shirts. You can register your stores down here with me. I'll hook you up.
Oh man. What else we got?
I got a question for you guys. While Adam, you're looking for something else. Operation Phoenix, when you think about it, the Phoenix itself is something that rises from the ashes, right? So fundamentally, do you think that's just making a direct, literal relationship with like the burning reflection mechanic of what goes on with SafeMoon? Or do you think that potentially that's going to be something else?
I have no freaking idea, because they keep correcting us when we say Phoenix and they say it's Phoenix. So are we even talking about the burning of the real bird Phoenix? Because they keep correcting us every single time we say Phoenix, they say Phoenix. So I don't know.
I think
I've been
Phoenix
saying
is an
Phoenix for the
abbreviation.
longest time, and then
Yeah.
everyone's yelling at me now saying like, no, it's Phoenix. And so
it's
now I
Phoenix.
believe that it's Phoenix because everyone's been correcting me.
No,
I got
you're
the-
right. It's Phoenix or it's the ENO or switched. I think it's a reference to the Browns' career. They sucked as a football team and they're doing pretty good now. So it's a resurrection of their career.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I'm just kidding.
Who's this? In your opinion, which comes first, SafeMoon blockchain, exchange, card, or top 5 exchanges? Interesting.
The chicken.
Top 5 exchange listing, I believe, and then our exchange, then the blockchain.
All right.
I'd say exchange, blockchain, card. And then
I didn't even see a card.
I saw the whoops. I missed the
Card,
top
card.
5 listing. Exchange top 5 blockchain card. There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me too.
I agree.
Blah, blah, blah. I concur.
So let's go back to the card, because as you guys can see, this is one that I'm super excited about. How do you guys think they're going to work that rewards? Because we're obviously getting, supposedly at the time, if we're talking about top 5 exchanges, our exchange blockchain card, by then we should be getting an ish ton of reflections, right? Let's just assume. How would those rewards work? We get more Safemoon for spending? That would just be so crazy.
Isn't it?
Has anyone thought about it?
5%
That would
tax
be
on the card?
ridiculous.
So
What did you say, Moonboy?
No, isn't it 0.5% tax whenever you swipe the card?
It's a 2% fee is the transaction fee, but we don't know what that's going to look like on the card. I think early on they mentioned it would be 2%.
I know initially they were saying that if they worked with a third-party provider, that the card itself would have its own internal fee. Like if you're working with Visa or MasterCard or something like that as a payment processor, they want to be able to take a cut. They're not just going to provide a service. They want to make sure they can benefit something off of it too.
Yeah.
I also heard mentioned that the card could potentially use other cryptos outside of Safemoon too. So you would essentially be able to choose, oh, I don't want to pay with Safemoon today. I want to pay with Bitcoin, or I want to pay with Dogecoin or whatever. You can link multiple cryptos into that wallet, and you'd have an app or built-in feature where you could choose which one it defaults to.
Yeah, their old graphic that they had for that, I remember there was, I think, 8 different cryptocurrencies. The little icon, Bitcoin, Litecoin, I think
Bitcoin,
XRP,
Litecoin, XRP, Dogecoin.
Tron?
Was Tron on there?
I think so. It was a long time ago. There was 8 of them though. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yo,
EOS maybe.
Didn't the Tron CEO just step down?
Justin Sun?
Yeah, Justin Sun, he stepped down.
Oh, what, is he in jail for all the gambling or what?
Oh man, I think he's scheduled to relinquish his position in June or something. So I think he's moving on to something else. He's going to do something else. He said the Tron blockchain is completely decentralized. His part is done. He's going to be moving on. So I don't know what that means for Tron, but that article came out about a month ago or something.
Interesting.
I said the biggest problem, we missed Hockey's Hockey donated $5 before he missed his comment. He said I said the biggest problem with Safemoon has right now is not being able to bring in new holders. We need to work on growing our army. Correct.
That'll come in time with the exchanges, I think.
Yeah, they're working on a lot of products. It should bring in more people, and we're doing our part as content creators, and you guys do your part. We're letting other people know, and our time will come. But yeah, we definitely need more. But every project needs more, right? Even Bitcoin needs more. That's the way it works.
Did you guys know that in the early days with Safemoon, it was on the roadmap for Safemoon to get listed on Binance?
Yes,
Say
I
again?
remember that.
Yeah, in the early days.
That
As
was
part of
back in
their
April.
video promo material, their graphic images, everything like that. Like they, for this year, had it on the roadmap plans. And I think John had even mentioned in a tweet or something that they were planning on getting Safemoon onto Binance as far as for acquiring the funds, having the liquidity backing, all that kind of stuff. And it was looking very, very probable. And then it super blew up in the media and all the other social influencers, Logan Paul, Keemstar, that started trending. And then things just sort of pivoted a little bit away from that. But it was mentioned in several different places that the idea of it getting listed on Binance was their intention.
People are going to think that Binance is now one of the top exchanges that's supposed to be listing Safemoon now.
I don't think Binance is going to list Safemoon. I think Binance is. I think Safemoon is going to get to their own blockchain and just be like, "See you later."
Binance can't even list us correctly.
Yeah.
Well, full market cap, yeah.
I will
think
not
they
argue. If Binance lists Safemoon, by all means, feel free. You want to take your little percentage cut on your own exchange with all the people that are transferring it, fine. Because in the end, it's going to come back and it's just going to be more adoption. So let them do it if they want to do it. If they don't want to do it, I think it's their loss.
Right. think they're losing out a lot by not having it listed already. I mean, it's one
For
of the
sure.
biggest tokens on their on their blockchain. Why wouldn't
Isn't
they?
it
For
the
sure.
biggest one they have?
Yeah, with by far. No one even
It's,
comes
yeah.
close.
There was that
It's
crazy
a,
graph. Yeah.
it's a pancake swap, or
Bro.
the pancake token is the biggest, and I think well, BNB is the biggest, and Cake, and then Safemoon will be the second or third.
But even still, I think the biggest issue is the tokenomics. It was probably an issue of they would have had to move a lot of things around to make tokenomics function properly on the Binance app, and they just figured because we got to remember this whole thing about them being listed on Binance was way back in April, right when they were only been around for a couple of months. So as a company of a major blockchain, right? Think about us in 5 years, and some small token that's been around for 2 months comes to us and says we'd like to get listed, and but in order to get listed, you need to change everything about how your exchange works and move all these parts around and put a lot of labor force to make it possible. You as a company might go, let's see how this rides and shakes out first, because you might not exist in 3 months like all these other tokens before you that have all risen and fallen. So I don't necessarily fault Binance for, especially like in their first couple of weeks, being like, I'm not rearranging all of our code just to make you guys function in our exchange. So we'll give you guys some time and see how you guys work. And if you're as big of a deal as you guys claim to be, then maybe that could be something for the future. So maybe that is one of the exchanges we're going to be listed on now, because we have stuck around and we have seen success and we've had products. So maybe that is a future listing. But I just think that, I mean, just think about it from a CEO's perspective. Would you be willing to change and put all the manpower into a token that's only been around for a couple of months to get added onto your exchange? I know I'm being very cynical here, but I just think about it though. Would you be willing to do that if you were the CEO?
Well, when it comes to SafeMoon, within its first 2 months hitting the top 30 of all cryptocurrencies in the world, I think when a token has that kind of price action and growth, I mean, it needs to be, at least for me, in my opinion, some extra consideration. Because now you're bringing massive holders, massive volume, massive interest, massive potential funds that Binance would collect if they were to, list SafeMoon and collect transaction fees and all those buys and sells and trades. So I feel like because SafeMoon blew up so much, it would be a little different versus like a Hodge Finance or these other tokens that still offer tokenomics that came after SafeMoon. I do agree though that the time frame of when SafeMoon's trying to push the whole Binance narrative, they're creating all these posts. Binance was the sun, and then KuCoin was the moon, and Coinbase was Mars, and then So I feel like it was a really good time, but I guess for a safer approach would be to wait to kind of see what they do.
Yeah. Let me see what this one is. Okay, random question. Why do cats feature so much in the Safemoon? Adam's cat, Tim's background, and so many mods and community members. Cats are us. I have no idea. But I see
Cats
I have a
are-
cat.
I have two cats we rescued. In fact, these two back here are the ones that we rescued. I think cats are something unique. They'll only stay around you if they like you, because they don't need you. So cats are cool animals, man. They don't need you. They can just go out and just do whatever they want. They can get their own food. They'll be fine. But if they plan to hang around with you and they want to, hang on you, because my cats just love laying all over me. I think that means there's a sign of trust. And plus, the Egyptians always thought really highly of cats because they kept away evil spirits, and they made sure that they kept the plagues out by getting rid of all those rats. So,
I
plus
have. Go ahead.
no, plus, I mean, it's important not to have rats running around your house, right?
Milo makes sure the trolls don't come out of under the bridges.
Oh, see, he got his cat right there. If I had this door open, the cats would be on the keyboard. You'd see them pawn at the screen. Like every time I'm working on a video, they'll just lay on the computer, the keyboard. I'm just like, what are you doing? And he's just like, no, pay attention to me right now. I don't care about your video.
Let me see what else we got over here, guys. I'm gonna call it in a little bit. What's this? Another great Safemoon Round Table. Thank you for all the excellent information. We appreciate you all for your hard work. Have a safe and happy New Year's. Yeah, bro.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, man. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year's.
Yeah, definitely.
Happy New Year.
Guys, I'm gonna call it in a little bit because I really have to run to do something. I just wanted to tell everybody, thank you so much for coming out to Moonboy, Generation Crypto, Atlas, RJ, and Dark Moon Tim. And I wanted to give a special shout out to KC, Legion, and Antonio who modded the room. I know tonight must have been a hard mod. We appreciate that. You guys want to add something? Finishing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Adam, when's the last time that you fed that unicorn? I haven't seen it blink in 2 hours.
Dead, bro. I would like to wish everyone a happy holidays, a safe and healthy, because I know a lot of people have been getting sick lately and it sucks. But I just hope everyone stays healthy for the new year. I hope everyone has a great New Year's and doesn't do anything too silly. But yeah, I want to thank you for having me on these shows. It's been great. I love getting to know all you guys on a personal level, and just hearing the knowledge that you have and the videos that you put out is so full of great information. And I want to thanks for you guys for including me in this community, because I'm the youngest one here. Not age-wise, I'm probably 69. I'm the oldest, but I'm the newest to the YouTube market. Or what the hell market? YouTube, whatever, ecosystem, whatever. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be a part of all this, and it really does mean a lot to me. And you guys are like brothers to me. So I hope you have a happy New Year, and I want to thank you all for inviting me onto this show. It means a lot.
Bro, pleasure. Who else? Anybody else want
I
to
think
say?
that's a great way to end it, but I just want to say let's diamond fist ourselves into 2022. So
Let's all do diamond
ready for
fisting.
Hey, that is a little wonky. So,
I will give it a
don't
single
do the
fist
call,
bump, and that's it.
Diamond fist.
Look at Atlas's fist. What are you doing?
Bro, but
He's diamond fishing RJ there.
Yeah, trying to bump it with Adam and with RJ. There you go.
Hey.
Fist bump. There you go.
And then I gotta.
Yeah,
Play
there
that
we
way,
go.
all the other
We're
ways.
diamond fisting each other, guys. Let's go. Diamond fist. Yeah.
You know who we look like? The Brady Bunch.
on, Morty.
You know the Brady
Oh, geez,
Bunch?
Rick. Diamond
The
fist.
Brady Bunches?
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
remember
hey.
that.
But it's definitely dope that we can get, honestly be friends, get along as content creators. There's so much hate in other communities. It's honestly amazing. And guys, for everybody that was asking about Safemoon Joe, he just had prior engagements. He has an open invitation every single week. We have a chat room for all of us. So don't jump to conclusions, anybody. He's not even welcome. Like we want him to come on. We always
He's a good
message
dude.
him. Yeah, 100%. So
And he did mention in the chat, guys, he will be here next week. So
yeah,
you should,
for sure,
if you're looking forward for him, he'll be here.
Which we're hosting on my channel next week?
Yep.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Guys, I guess we're going to wrap this up. And again, I want to say thank you for everybody for coming out, all the mods and all the creators, guys. I'm sorry for cutting this short. Guys, stay on, and I'm going to end the broadcast.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Okay,
New
guys.
Year.
Peace.